Anandita Sahu, a student of BTech Biotechnology at Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata. Today I am about to review a manuscript titled Tear Proteome Analysis in Ocular Surface Diseases using Label-Free LCMS and Multiplexed Microarray Biomarker Validation. The correspondence author of the manuscript is Dr. Tatiana Suarez. She is currently working as the Head of Research, Development and Innovation at Phase Pharma. She has been the Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Scientific Officer, and the co-founder of Biophthalmic Applied Research. She has also worked as an independent medical research advisor. She is known for her notable works in the field of ocular surface diseases. She has published over 40 research papers. The study presented delves into the tear proteome analysis of ocular surface diseases, specifically dry eye and meibomian gland dysfunction, utilizing label-free LCMS and multiplexed microarray biomarker validation techniques. Ocular surface diseases such as DE, MGD disrupt the lacrimal functional unit, leading to symptoms of discomfort, visual disturbance, and tear film instability. These conditions are often associated with inflammatory process and protein expression changes in the tear film. By analyzing the tear samples from the patients of DE, MGD, and healthy controls, this study aims to identify distinct protein expression patterns and validate candidate biomarkers. The findings from this research could enhance the understanding, the underlying pathophysiological mechanism, and aid in the development of more accurate diagnostic tools and effective treatments for these prevalent ocular diseases. The research answers two main questions. What are the specific proteins that differentiate between DE and MGD? How do the levels of these proteins correlate with the clinical endpoints? Experimental setup. Patients were classified having dry eye, meibomian gland dysfunction, and normal volunteers. Patients who had dry eye had symptoms such as dry eye symptoms, dynamic abnormalities in Shimmer-1 test, less than 5 mm per 5 minute, characteristic fluorescein staining of corneal epithelium, and a tear breakup time of greater than 5 seconds. MGD was diagnosed if the patients had eyelid inflammation, Shimmer-1 test greater than 5 mm per 5 minute, tear breakup time of less than 5 seconds, and alterations in meibomian glands. Healthy subjects in the CT group were not suffering from any ocular disease, no allergic or atopic history. They presented Shimmer-1 test values greater than 5 mm per 5 minute. Tear breakup time of greater than 5 seconds, no corneal fluorescent staining or sensations of discomfort, and no evident eyelid inflammation. A total of 70 samples were collected, out of which 37 samples were analyzed using spectral counting based LCMS label-free quantitation. 7 of them were DE and 12 MGD and 18 CT. The other 33 samples were evaluated in the validation of candidate biomarkers, of which 24 were DE and 9 CT. Methodology is used. LCMS, label-free quantitative proteomics. Spectral counting-based label-free liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry was used for quantitative proteomics. This technique quantifies protein abundance based on the number of detected spectra corresponding to the peptides from each protein. Functional network analysis. The main biological process involving the differentially expressed proteins were mapped to identify new candidate biomarkers and therapeutic targets. Customized antibody microarray assays. A subset of proteins identified in the proteomic analysis was validated using antibody microarray assays. These included proteins such as CST4, S100A6, and MMP9. ROC curve was the area under the ROC curve was calculated to evaluate the accuracy of the candidate biomarkers. This shows the workload overview of outlining the steps used in the study. First, the tear sample was collected and the proteins were digested. Then the protein quantitation is performed using label-free spectral counting employing Apex quantitative proteomics tool. Data matrix obtained from Apex quantitation was used for multivariate statistical analysis. Once the most significant proteins were identified, the list of the most significantly upregulated or downregulated proteins were loaded into Cytoscape to find network patterns related to diseases. 3 proteins with significant associations in mass spectrometry and network analysis were evaluated using customized sandwich-like antibody microarrays. Protein expression differences. Comparative analysis revealed differences in the expression levels of 26 proteins among DE, MGD, and CT groups. A few of those proteins were complement C3, S100A8, ceruloplasmin, apolipoprotein D, alpha-1 acid glycoprotein 2, thioredoxin, Ig gamma-1 chain C, phospholipase A2, serpina alpha-1 antitrypsin, anti-leukoproteinase, annexa-1 protein, clusterin, alpha-1 acid glycoprotein 1, and lactoperoxidase. Few of the key proteins with differential expression are shown here. Protein S100A6, thioredoxin, phospholipase A2, anti-leukoproteinase, annexa-1 protein, lactoperoxidase, and cystasin S. Discrimination between groups. Different sets of proteins were identified that could differentiate between DE, MGD, and CT groups. In our MS-based proteomic study, we first compared tear samples of DE and MGD patients with controlled tear samples. The following proteins were mostly overexpressed in DE: C3, S100A6, S100A8, CP, APOD, ORM2, TXN, IgHG1, PLA2G2A, SERPINA1, and SLPY. These proteins are involved in the biological processes related to the defense response, inflammatory process, and response to wounding. Among these proteins, TXN, IgHGH1, PLA2G2A, SERPINA1, and SLP1 were most downregulated in MGD. The most representative overexpressed proteins in MGD group were annexa-1, CLU, ORM1, and the LPO. The LPO protein had its lowest expression level in DE group. These proteins implicated mainly apoptosis, oxidative stress, immune response, and keratinocyte differentiation, which represent some of the principal processes involved in ocular surface diseases. Few proteins which differentiate DE and CT are S100A6, S100A8, ceruloplasmin, and apolipoprotein D. MGD and DE are differentiated by anti-leukoproteinase, phospholipase A2, and lactoperoxidase. MGD and CT are differentiated by annexin A1, clusterin, and alpha-1 acid glycoprotein 1. Functional network analysis. The Cytoscape Reactome Functional Interaction Network plugin was used to find network patterns by assessing the Reactome Functional Interaction Network database. The disease-related network consisted of 19 of the candidate proteins associated with the disease found in this study and the minimum number of interacting proteins necessary to interconnect them in a network. 5 topologically well-differentiated modules were obtained, comprising 11, 11, 15, 4, and 4 proteins respectively. Module 1 of the network mainly represents the processes such as inflammatory response, regulation of chemokine production, response of lipopolysaccharide, cytokine-mediated signaling pathway, apoptic signaling, acute phase response, cell redox homeostasis, innate and humoral immune response, regulation of JNK cascade, and cellular defense response. Module 2 was principally formed by proteins involved in the extracellular matrix organization, collagen catabolic process, response to cytokine stimulus, angiogenesis, aging, response to hypoxia, regulation of cell proliferation, and neutrophil chemotaxis. Module 3 made up of proteins significantly related to the defense response to bacteria and positive regulation of inflammatory response. Module 4 was related to signal transduction, regulation of apoptosis, and fibroblast proliferation processes. Module 5 did not show any significant relationships with any biological processes. Biomarker validation. To validate further the relative protein expression data of tier protein biomarkers obtained via MS-based spectral counting techniques, an orthogonal technique based on antibody microarrays using an independent group of DE and control samples was employed. The S100A6 and CST4 proteins significantly deregulated according to the results of LCMS analysis were selected for validation. The MMP9 protein inferred from the network analysis was also used in this validation. The antibody microarray assays confirmed significant changes in CST4 and S100A6 levels seen in LCMS assays. They also corroborated the network analysis inference of the implication of MMP9 in DE disease. The result shows that the tier concentration of S100A6 and MMP9 were significantly higher in the DE group in comparison with the control group, confirming the mass spectrometry findings. However, the CST4 level was significantly lower in the DE group than in that of CT group. In addition, these three biomarkers were used to generate multivariate predictive models. To this end, training was performed employing random sampling with 70% of the data and a logistic regression algorithm. Subsequently, the classifier method was validated using the remaining 30% of the data. The results showed an AUC value of 87.5%. The first figure shows spotting pattern of a 12 subarray format, and the second is the representative image of the arrays showing the distribution of the standard calibration curves and samples. Comparison of the concentration of candidate biomarkers in CT and DE groups, measured using the customized antibody microarray assays. Concentration is expressed in Ng per ml. Green circles represent the mean concentration for the group. The first plot is the Whisker plot of protein S100A6 concentration. The second is the Whisker plot of protein MMP9 concentration. The third is the Whisker plot of protein CST4 and CST4 concentrations. The last is the ROC curve analysis obtained by logistic regression using three candidate biomarkers. Pearson correlation matrix. The data obtained for proteins S100A6, CST4, and MMP9 were used to assess the correlation between the biomarkers and clinical parameters. A post hoc Pearson correlation analysis was performed to determine whether the individual protein levels were associated with the tested clinical parameters, Shimmer-1 test, tear breakup test, OSDI, fluorescence staining, and age. S100A6 and MMP9 showed significant positive correlation with OSDI and fluorescence staining and negative correlation with tear breakup test and Shimmer-1 test. Similarly, S100A6 and MMP9 markers positively correlated with each other. CST4 protein negatively correlated with fluorescence staining, and there was no correlation between the biomarkers and the age of the patient. This is clearly shown in this table. Conclusion. Comparison with the results obtained using different proteomic technologies corroborated and the candidate for stable and robust molecular markers of the studied diseases. The S100A6 and the CST4 proteins are some of the most noteworthy. We explored the correlation of selected biomarkers with clinical parameters, obtaining good correlation levels and confirming the validity of these proteins as tier biomarkers for DE. Key findings. Differential protein expression. The study identified 25 proteins with significant differential expression between DE, MGD, and normal tier samples. Validation of candidate biomarkers. Key biomarkers such as S100A6 and CST4 showed strong correlations with clinical parameters, confirming their relevance in ocular surface diseases. Functional network analysis. The functional network analysis revealed that many of the differentially expressed proteins were involved in immune response and inflammation pathways. The analysis revealed 9 central nodes represented by the proteins. In conclusion, this study underscores the potential of tier proteomics in diagnosing and understanding in ocular surface diseases such as dry eye and meibomian gland dysfunction. By leveraging label-free LCMS and customized microarray assays, significant differences in tier protein profiles were identified, pointing to specific biomarkers like S100A6 and CST4. Future research should focus on validating these biomarkers across diverse populations and exploring the functional interaction networks of the key proteins. Advanced proteomic techniques and simultaneous protein analysis hold promise for more precise and comprehensive insights into these diseases. Ultimately, these efforts could pave way for new therapeutic targets and strategies, enhancing patient outcomes and quality of life. With this, we come to an end of this presentation, and I hope I covered all the key points of the research. Thank you.